I'll be giving techniques of how to put together the chart. And the first couple of times we do it, they'll feel like unconnected technique. They'll feel like I'm teaching you about one part of the chart, one part of the signs, one part of the planets or whatever. But as my favorite teacher, Ernst Wilhelm, said, and that's how I learned astrology, you learn as many simple techniques as possible, and then you practice them. And then when you look at the chart, at the beginning, it will feel like, oh my God, which technique do I use? But when you've been practicing them, they'll just jump out at you. With time, this happens with time. Don't get desperate if you don't feel it immediately. But immediately you'd look at separate elements. Oh, how many planets are in water signs? Or, oh, I see there are a lot of squares in this chart. Or, oh, I see this or that, the techniques that we'll go through. But at the end, the more you practice that, or the more charts you look at, and to be honest, I learned astrology mostly by looking at charts of my family, my loved ones and friends, and then later on with clients, but it's enough just to look at those you love. Things start jumping out of you. It moves from the logical to the intuitive level. Once you learn something really well, as I said, it becomes like intuitive. So you look at it and something will jump out, and you won't have to use all the techniques. I'll give you probably 50 techniques here. You sometimes will be able to answer a difficult question like career or love or with one or two of those techniques, because your intuition, your higher self, will lead you to which one is the right one for you to use. And of course, the more you meditate, I mean like stare at the chart to think about the person and their problem, or your problem if you're thinking on your chart, the more deeper insights you will receive. And the best way to learn something is every time I give a technique, to pass it after that through your chart, that of your loved one, that of your best friend, someone that you know well, or some star whose life you're reading, or someone whose biography you're reading that is legit, not through the third eye, but someone who's being very honest, who you know more about. And then because of the personal experiences you have, those techniques will get imprinted in your soul, so to speak. And it won't be just like some kind of a dry knowledge that you're learning. It will be infused with emotion, because you connect the technique to something you've experienced, something a friend of yours is experiencing or is like. And when you infuse information with feelings, with emotions, that's when the real deep knowledge settles in. That's when it becomes intuitive, not just on the mental level. So I highly advise you to do that. I might give you, homework, but I cannot check all of that homework. But we'll try to go like that. Just remember, infusing feeling with the techniques is what gives the best results. So this course is going to go like the first 2-3 times lessons. We're going to give techniques and explain them in depth, and you're going to check them with your chart. And then the next 3 or 4 lessons we'll be looking at specific themes. We'll look at indications for longevity and health. We'll look at indications for, and there will be different things from those techniques that I taught. So from those techniques, we'll take different points that I've noticed that really work for answering certain questions. So you have like a guideline, but it's not set in stone, this guideline, And we'll practice with charts of famous people or someone else's chart. So I think it will be a lot of fun.